Welcome back, friends. Let's look at some evidence. So you got the pocket of survival here. All this used to be bricks. Now it's all cooked out, turned into rock. Got all rock curtained. Remnants of some archway here, possibly. More rocked up and blocked up bricks, heat expansion, swelling, rock curtain melting down, block lines in here, more remnants of bricks turned into rocks, huge block lines here, and rocked up, blocked up bricks here, and a lot of ash all over the place. Similar thing here. You see what happened to the red bricks, all heat expanded. Nobody ever built like this. It's getting buried from this huge rock curtain here. All this is a huge thick layer of melt coming from this side, starting to flow from the melt and pressure and starting to bury everything. And then we had the densification, and now it looks like this. Lots of damaged bricks here. Remnants of something here. Aperture, very swollen, of course. Got closed up. You see brick lines and block lines everywhere. All these horizontal lines used to be red bricks, all cooked out. And you got this little pocket of survival here, which is into the melt. Nobody built like this, it's all cooked out. And this looks like an attempt from the New World Order, the inheritors, which is us, to build something and use this space here, because this is just piles of trash built up to built into a shelter. So this is not original here, but this is to the right. Apertures down here. And this one is a very good one. You got this opening, this doorway here. They claim it's carved, all of this, but you can see the columns, some opening archways here, all filled out from heat expansion and swelling. So you can't go in here anymore. You can still see the opening in here. So this is some kind of entrance or something, but it's all heat damage now. This is not carved, this is built and then melted. Archway in here, remnants of something. Concrete molds still on here. Same thing, you got this column, very melted, and this one is just gone. Huge blocks here, archways all melted, and here to the right, stairs or whatever it used to be, all melted, like here, melted stairs. Got more up at the top. Melt, openings, apertures. Of course, you got this pocket of survival here. They claim it's carved. That's not what happened. It was built as a building and it was melted. And this is the remains we have now. They tell us it's natural formations and mountains. That's not the case. They are wrong. It's all melted buildings. You can still see this tower from the old wall, some kind of technology here. Still see the red bricks. And down here you see the bricks all blocked up. Heat expansion. Pockets of survival. We have seen this area before, but it's very good evidence, so we are gonna see it again. You see all the pockets of survival here. at the bottom. These are all buildings from the old world. Up here, and this building here. But up here you can see some brickwork up in there, which nobody built. It's a pocket of survival. You got an aperture up here. More apertures, archways up in here. Some archway in here as well. And some opening all the way up here. Another melted building. It was buried from above, from this huge rock curtain. These buildings were massive, right? So when all the building mass above started to melt down, it flowed down here with high viscosity, flow down slow, I mean, sorry, and started to cover the building. And then the event stopped, the electrical surge was stopped, it densified, and this is what we have now. You can see this building, it's into the so-called mountain here. This is all melted over it, burying it. See the window here, windows here. Got more at the bottom, pocket of survival. Got more openings and stuff over here. I'm not sure if this is original or if it's built by the inheritors. Not sure. It's wooden, looks simple, so I can't tell, but something is here. Also a very good evidence. You got the pocket of survival here in very good condition. You see the technology on the top. But the back side of it, look, here is where it gets interesting, guys. So you see the wall here and the window, and then you see the swelling here. But then above it, this here, up here, this is a part of this down below. So this wall goes all the way up, but it was swollen here, heat expanded. You see what happened to the bricks, they heat expanded into blocks. Got rock curtained, as you can see. Here as well, this one sticking out is a part of this building below it. Nobody built like this, right? Remnants on the top here, very cooked out. And of course, this, which is impossible to build and impossible to carve. Like this, right? Remnants of melted buildings again. You can still recognize the structure on the top with apertures and columns and stuff. Then you have huge block lines melting down, and you have faint brick lines underneath the rock curtain here. Lots of archways up here, and you can see how it's all heat damaged and melted. Got an opening here, and you see remnants of brick down at the bottom, and something that could have been an archway as well. And now it's covered with all these plants here, because they can grow and thrive in all this building melt. It still contains a lot of energy, right, for the plants. So the plants here are hiding a lot, makes it more difficult to see. So if you remove the plants, you'd see a lot more. But we are lucky the plants are here, in my opinion, because makes the place a little more pretty, in my opinion. And here, we have seen this place before, but it's just very, very good, so I'm gonna show it again for the new people. We're gonna start all the way left here. See remnants of something here. You see huge block lines and brick lines. And then of course this building going into what they call a mountain here, but it's all melted buildings. It's melting down here over the roof, as you can see. Starting to bury this building from above. but it densified before it managed to cover it completely, so we can still see it. It's the same case here. All melting down, burying the building. And here as well. You see huge block lines. And all the way over there. See the roof as well. The mountain just... Imagine this is flowing down. Slowly. Pretty high viscosity flowing down. Starting to cover the building. That's what's going on. And you got brick lines all cooked out at the bottom. Swelling here. Heat expansion. More stuff into what they call a mountain. Over here, pockets of survival. Very cooked out. Red bricks doing magic tricks. You can see the heat damage. Lots of balloon rocks. And some of them also turned into big blocks here. Nobody built like this. You can see remnants of red bricks in here, all twisted and spaghettied. You see? Goes like... like this. It's all red bricks here. Balloon rocked. Turned into big blocks. Up here also. Very cooked out. Just look at it. You gotta see the heat damage here, because building like this is impossible. You wouldn't be able to build a stable building with all these different rocks here and blocks, what they call it, but it's all heat damaged red bricks. And here, see the pocket of survival technology here as well. Starting to the right, you see entrances and walls here into the melted building behind it. This section here also very rock curtained, as you can see. The roofs here being buried by this melt flood here from behind, rock curtaining it, covering it. All the red bricks here cooked out, turn into rocks. It's all heat damage, this whole wall here. See more building here into the melt behind it. You see this, whatever it is, if it's a chimney or I can't tell. You can see it's like inside the mountain as well. So-called mountain, it's melted, see here. And the roofs as well, you see the roofs. This was all viscous and flowing here. Flowing like this from behind, and it started to cover the buildings. See the roof here. And of course you can put solar panels, and you can still use many of these buildings, but they are damaged. And behind it you still have remains of apertures. You still see block lines. You can see the melt in this area here. See, it's melting down. More apertures here buried. Huge block lines. More stuff there. And here remains of something. You can tell by the texture of this area, it's been melted, not carved. And it looks like it used to be some kind of water structure. Some kind of fountain stuff, right? Because you see this little canal here and this well looking thing. So square, it's all melted. Just look at the texture. This is not a natural formation, and this is not carved. They'll be telling us lies in the schools, I'm afraid. So I'm trying to help you to understand what really is going on. All here melted buildings. You can see this pocket of survival. Heat damage turned into blocks, and you see the roof and the rest of the building just going into it here. You cannot build like this, and you cannot. It's clearly not carved. So all this is melted building covering here, and then it densified, and now this is what we have, a pocket of survival. Still very recognizable as a building, of course, but this is not. You can see it by the color as well, here and here. It's the same color because it's the same material, just this one was more melted, altered states of matter. And you got the pocket of survival here. Similar case to the previous photos. It's being buried from above and behind by swelling and the rock curtain melting and covering the building. Some archway in here. You see the entrance with these big steps here, like this glorious entrance just for an archway into a mountain. It just doesn't make sense. It's all part of a... all of this was a structure, all of it. So you see the lines here. It's all melted buildings, and now of course taken over by the plant life, and it makes it more difficult to see what it really is. But I'm telling you though, so... very damaged, heat coming from below, climbing up the building and heat damaging the bricks and turning them into this. All used to be perfect red bricks. And you can see some archway here. You see the swelling, heat expansion here, and also an archway here just goes out to nothing. Just doesn't make sense. And you got more stuff here as well. You got pocket of survival in here. Almost got completely covered. And some stairway or something going down. All heat damage, balloon rocked. And more at the top. Barely sticking through the melt. See the heat damage. Here they call it a mountain. It's all melted buildings. And here as well. This is not the clearest photo, but you see all the damage. And this is what I wanted to show you here. You have this mangled archway here into nothing. Just a little remnant of something. Balloon rocking and swelling. Heat expansion. A wall. Impossible to build like this. And you wouldn't need to, there is no reason to. When it looks like this. Not originally built like this at all. Here we have seen this before, but it's very, very good. It's a little different angle than what I've shown before, I think. So this whole thing here used to be a very large building, and it got melted, and you see remnants of apertures in here. You can see the melt. You can see the brick lines underneath the rock curtain coming down. More apertures. And here you see how the angle of the ground here, it's all because of building melt flowing down here. This is a melt flood. All the material here becoming liquid and flowing down. That's why you have this uneven ground and the buried apertures like here. Got more apertures here. This thing just looks like a house from the old world by the shape of it. Still has apertures. You see the roof. Very melted, of course. More melt flood. More apertures. All these openings, doors and windows, archways. More stuff up here. Huge building. See here, can you see it's a building that was melted? Again, remnants of buildings. They will call this as this carved cave, right? They will tell you that primitive cavemen came here with a rock and carved this in here, or a bronze chisel and hammer, but it doesn't work like that because of the difference in hardness. This is very hard material, and a bronze chisel is very soft, so you can't carve it. And it's also clearly not carved by the look of it here. It's all melted. It's all been melted, friends. Remnants of melted buildings, you still see openings. They will also claim this is carved. You can still see steps here, very melted. Also claimed as carved. They are wrong. It's all melted buildings. More remnants, apertures, doors, windows, openings. One down here to the right. Some kind of walkway was here or something, but it's very melted and swollen now. This is not a natural formation. Just look at the shape and texture of this. And here, all cooked out, turned into blocks by heat expansion. Big blocks. But what's funny is you can still see tiny bits of red bricks in here. Here. Up here. Little bit of red bricks. And here as well you see this pocket of survival sticking through. It's fused into this melted building here, this section, which is very melted. It's impossible to build like this, and it's obviously not carved. Here you see the bricks turn into blocks. They made some pretty paintings here to make to distract you, so you look at this instead of looking here. And you see these concrete molds all the way to the right with a lot of detail and stuff, so it was clearly made by people who they knew stuff with the designs and everything. Look at the detail. They were not just primitive cavemen like they tell us. They were intelligent, very advanced people, very high tech. And here you see remnants of a building, heat coming from below. You can see it by the color, how it's been scorched and cooked out, and you see how it's starting to mangle the building, and it's getting all swollen now. So it's all a melted building. Nobody came here hundreds or thousands of years ago and carried up a bunch of bricks to build up on here. And you can see how there is nothing left of it. It's all melted. Look here, it's all melted building. Looks like flowing concrete. Look at this flowing out here. Also remnants. It's a lot going on in this photo. We're gonna go through it quickly. You see openings into here. Bricks cooked into blocks. And here you see more of the melted texture. Again, nobody carved anything here. It was built and then melted. You see very melted steps here. Apertures, doors, windows, openings all over the place. They built this plateau here for the tourists, so you can pay money to go and see here, and they will lie to you and tell you it's carved when it's a melted building. So they're both robbing you and lying to you in these places here. Look, all melted buildings. Cooked out. Archway here. Remnants. Blocked up. Heat expansion. See the melt here. Brick line still in it. Swollen heat expansion. Turn into rocks and blocks. And an archway all the way in the back. Here a similar effect to the... I think it's the same place as we saw 2 photos ago. Just the other side, and you see this huge balloon rock swelling here from heat expansion, all melting down. Heat from the bottom, climbing up the wall, the building. And it's all getting swollen and melted. Same deal, heat from the bottom, melting, mangling the building. Look here, just the shape. Bricks goes down here, and then it suddenly goes all the way up here. Bricks goes down here. You can't build like this. Okay, you can see this building. It used to continue way further down here, but it's all heat damaged and swollen here now, and they call it a mountain, but it's a part of the building that's heat damaged. Look here. Climb all the way to the top here. Very melted. And you can also see the angle of everything here. Looks like it used to be way taller here, but it's all filled up now with building melt, brick flood. You see it's so uneven here. More swelling and melting. You can see here by this side now this is what you see, but on this side you can still see it continues down here. Right? So it's all swollen and heat damaged. See here, you can see it's melting down, starting to spread out and flow down. See, nobody built on top of this, like this, with all these shapes and stuff, with bricks. It's all swollen and heat damaged. Same deal inside. You see the bricks here all cooked out, and then the melting here. Melting. Archway here. All balloon rocking here. Heat expansion. Can you see it? It's all heat damaged. And in the background, all these are buildings, but they melted completely down, spreading out, flowing out, turn into brick ash, and then of course it was flooded. Here you see it close up. You can see there is a wire going here, it looks like. Yeah, it's a wire. You can see you can't build like this. Wire goes all the way. This is all merged into the swelling here. I don't know, maybe this used to be an archway here, but all cooked out. See here what happened to the bricks. All scorched. Scorched. And this is the same deal here. Heat damage from the bottom coming up mangling the building. All heat damaged and swollen. Look here. Nobody built on top of it. You can see in the background too. Starting to balloon rock here, heat expansion. All melting down, starting to flow down this way. Heat from the bottom. And here, very swollen. Pocket of survival here. And here you got big blocks. At the top they are still big blocks. It used to be bricks, but they turned into big blocks. And then down here, see all these viscous holes? This is when the blocks are viscous and cooking thoroughly, so the air are trying to escape and separate. So you get all these holes here. This is not water erosion. These blocks were never built like this. It's all heat damage. It's been cooked. It's like boiled. And of course you got a little patch of red bricks in here still. Pocket of survival here. This is the evidence. It was all red bricks, as we know. But it's been very, very X-factored and flooded. Water came in after. Very, very melted. You see just the top is sticking up here. Nobody climbed up here to build this. You wouldn't need to build up on top of here, and it's impossible to do so, especially as primitive people who only had, you know, donkeys to transport material. So just the very top, it's like this here, much taller, sticking up here, but the bottom of this one is way more melted than over here. But you see the same damage though. It just didn't manage to reach as far up. So if the heat here came all the way to the top and continued to stay there, this whole thing here would look like this. And they will tell you it's a mountain, but you wouldn't be able to see this here. Pocket of survival. This is not a mountain. It's just remnants of the melted building. You see some wall structure going through here as well, all buried by the melted building and swelling here. It's barely sticking up through this, going all the way in here. It's impossible to build on this terrain here. It's all melted buildings. And here you see the melting here. Patch of damaged bricks here, but just look how melted it is. It's a part of the structure. Look here. You see bricks here, and then it turns into this. See the transition here. It's all melting. Heat expanded and swollen. Same deal here. This one got very hot, very melted. Very good photo here. You see remnants of something here. It's the angle of it looks like it's this way now. For the bricks. Not horizontal like here. You see what happened to the red bricks? Look here. The melting at the bottom. Nobody built like this. All this used to be red bricks, and now they are completely cooked out and turned into this. It's all scorched here. Balloon rocking at the top, apertures all the way up here. It looks like the melt got an angle and it started to slide down a little bit this way or something. It's because you see the angle here with the brick lines, and the same here. So it's some weird stuff going on, but it's all melted buildings. Remains of openings, apertures here, all filled out by the melt. Nobody built on top of here. It's all melted buildings. Just look at it. Do you see it? It's all melted buildings. They're lying in the schools. And here another cooked out building, and I just wanted to show you the different stages of the heat damage and red bricks, what happened to them. You can see that they turn into blocks here and rocks and you know, rubble in here, but you still see the red bricks. Some of them survived, and this is how we know. You can see it's all heat damaged here, while you still have some of the bricks that survived. You understand? You don't build like this with all these different rocks and different materials. You just build it all with red bricks, but it was very heat damaged by this X factor cataclysm, and it made it look like this now. It turned it into this. It's all scorched. You got the red bricks in the archways still, while the rest turn into this, cooked out, turn into rocks. It's all scorched. Look at the bottom here. In here, it's all been scorched and cooked. You can see it's cooked and dry. Same deal, you see the bricks churning in here, but you still see red brick rubble in here, but they are being cooked out now. And they are all melting together, churning here into a soup. It's all red bricks, melted and damaged. This as well. Sorry for the tag here. Got an archway all filled out. Filled out archways. More red bricks still there, very damaged. You got red bricks all over the place. See? You don't build like this. You just build it with the red bricks. There, you know, all the red bricks are all the same size and shape and weight. So it's of course way better to build it with red bricks than all this different stuff you gotta fit together like a Tetris god, right? You just don't do it. You build it all with red bricks, but it was heat damaged. Same here, all cooked out. Look how cooked it is and damaged it is. And you see here, another good example here is you see this archway looks like this, and then you have this archway is still the red bricks. Why do you do it different? I'm building with it different materials, right? You just don't do that. So this archway was way more cooked, turned into big blocks, while this one managed to do a little better. It's very heat damaged, of course, but you still see the red bricks, and this as well. Half of it here is all red bricks still. You still see the bricks in here. Here and there. Over here, but look here. What happened to the bricks? It turned into this. It looks very ugly now. Because it's all heat damaged. Same thing in the back. You see the red bricks in here still, while the rest turned into this. Balloon rocks here, while you still have the red bricks. Some of them survived. Some of them survived the melt, and many of them did not. It's all heat damaged. The same deal here. I just want to show you the examples of how we know it was all red bricks, because you can see it here. Red bricks here and here, around here, but then suddenly it looks like this because it's been cooked out. And here you still have the bricks. Some of them survived, but most of them turned into here they call this rocks now. But originally it was all red bricks, and that means rocks doesn't really exist. It's all heat damaged red bricks. It's not a natural thing here. This is not natural rocks. They formed from this meltdown with the bricks being mangled. You see this archway just going halfway here into nothing. More red bricks at the top, up here. So this is very good evidence. You can see it's been heat damaged. And the red bricks turn into this, what they call rocks. Same deal here. You don't build like this when you have access to red bricks, as you can see. You don't throw a bunch of random rocks in there and then, you know, oh, I want a brick here. Now we're gonna put this and this and this. And then a brick again. You know, you just don't do that. Look here. Red bricks and the rest turned into this. This is heat damaged. More bricks up here. You don't build here like this. With all these different materials, different rocks and blocks, and then, you know, some bricks here and there. Just doesn't make sense. You can see it's scorched in the archway. Same thing here. You see the red bricks. And then they turn into rocks. Well, you still see a brick here and here. Still see the bricks in there. They managed to survive somehow. And also in the background you still see some red bricks. But the rest turned into this. Maybe you can see it for yourself in this photo, that something doesn't add up compared to what they explain us. When you see all these different rounded rocks, we call them rock balloons or balloon rocks, mixed with a bunch of red bricks in there. This whole structure used to be red bricks, but it was hit by a cataclysm, a short circuit from below, heat from below, electrical current flowing through the buildings, and it got heated up, and the red bricks turned into what you see in this photo. It's all been heat damaged. The ground too used to be red bricks, and now they turn into what they call cobblestone, but originally it's all red bricks. Balloon rocks all over the place, heat damaged. You see the corner here in good condition, and then it's all destroyed. And here you see I wanted to show you this wall here, because you can see how it's all swollen here. You see it? It's all melting here, flowing down, and swollen here by heat expansion. See? And here as well, you see the same thing. To the right here, you still see the red bricks in here, while the rest turned into this. But you still see a brick here, and here, 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 and the rest is heat damaged. The whole building is heat damaged. You see here, this is not a mountain. It's a part of the building that's melted. You see in the archway, and in the back as well, you still see some of the red bricks that survived, but most of them did not. Up here as well, you still see the red bricks. Here we got a popcorn brick here, popping out. more red bricks. And that was it, my friends. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you saw some interesting evidence. I hope you learned something. Thank you very much for watching, and take care, be nice, be good, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.